Hello and welcome back to the Pixel Street podcast. This is episode 188. Oop, that's a fuck up. We're good. We're good though. I saved it. If you didn't know, this is the podcast where we talk about nerd shit, and John's here with his nerd shit behind him. I'm here with my nerd shit behind me, and joining us this week is Will and all of his nerd shit behind him. What's up, Will? Did I
I
just?
think I lost him.
Yeah.
I think I
How's
lost
it going?
myself.
You just glitched out. Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, we're off to a great start. That's
Yeah.
gonna be.
Too much
That'd
nerd
be
shit on
great.
screen at one time.
Yeah, that's what happens when we add
Yeah.
when we add a third person in their nerd shit. The internet can't handle the bandwidth.
It's not just the outside bringing the heat. We're bringing all the heat with all this nerd shit.
Yo, it is so fucking hot outside.
Yeah, it is.
It's been
It's not
great. I love
cool.
it.
It's not cool. We're off to a
It-
very bad
it's
hot
not.
girl summer. I'm already sick of it. I need to get out of it. Hot nerd summer, right? That's what they're saying
Yeah.
this year.
Hell yeah.
That's us.
I'm pretty sure that's what they're saying this year is hot nerd summer. Last year was hot girl summer. Now
can
we're
see
into hot
that.
nerd summer. What do nerds drink? You know, hot girl summer was the year of the White Claw, right?
Mm.
What do nerds drink? Just like a giant flagon of soda?
Anything
Of their
inside of a
choice?
stein or that something that
Rockstar.
resembles Skyrim.
I feel like every like
Drinks.
my internet is shitting out on me, so part of me wants to take this offline and record offline. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Are we good? Can you guys hear me?
I
Yeah.
can hear you.
Okay. I don't know what to do. What do you guys
And we
think?
lost
Should
you.
Did you lose me?
No,
Now you're back.
you're cutting out a lot.
Okay. Should I end it and we just record offline or what? What say you?
It's not too bad. Hopefully, it'll get better. So
It's very
The problem is, all right, technical difficulties on the fly here, is I'm streaming it, and so when you guys cut out for me, there's just silence on the stream. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm capturing all your audio and everything.
gotcha. Yeah,
Makes
no, that
sense.
is a problem.
Let's just keep going, and if
Let's
it
just
keeps
keep going.
happening, then I'll cut it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Worst case scenario, you can always broadcast the recording after the fact.
True. But I'm lazy, so I don't want to do that.
Just hit play and walk away.
Yeah. But anyway, you can find us on Twitter at Pixel Street. I realize that this template I have here has our Facebook page up, Pixel Street Podcast, but we don't ever post there anymore, so ignore that. You can find us on Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, whatever. Any podcast app, you can find us on there. Friday mornings at 8 a.m. or sometime after then, because sometimes we forget. So there you go. We run a tight ship here. Like, you know, we never miss that 8 a.m. deadline ever, right, John?
never, not once in our lives.
And some would say half the time we miss that deadline.
Yeah, you know what? If you start subscribing and get us over 300 subscribers, we will be sure to focus more on getting those up on schedule.
We'll give it an honest try.
Yeah.
The old
Where are we
college
sitting
try.
at? We are at 292 subscribers.
292. Let's go.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Let's go. But yeah, check out our YouTube at Pixel Street Videos, where you can see all of our podcasts, all of our Let's Plays. Me and Will have been reviewing every episode of the Halo TV show. We've been trying to do that like the day it airs, but life happens. So the last two, well, this past episode we're going to be late on, and if you've been watching the show, it's not a good episode. So that's why we didn't really care to record one. But tomorrow's episode we will probably record tomorrow because I'm going to be out of town all weekend. So, yeah. So you can check out our YouTube channel for all of that. Let's go into some main topics, John. So over the weekend, Xbox had some problems, and it wasn't the fact that John was playing too much Ace Attorney.
No, that's on my 3DS that I've been playing that recently. So
Well,
Yeah,
didn't you play the ones on the
I did
Xbox?
the
Yeah.
trilogy.
Game
Yeah,
Pass?
but re- recently I've been playing the 3DS titles. They're all great. Give them a try. But yeah. So there were a ton of issues. Xbox servers were not allowing people to access their digital games. I personally never had this issue for whatever reason, but I also my internet was down since Saturday, so who knows? It might have gone out for me as well. But there
Mm,
were a lot of people that just could not access any of their Xbox titles, uh, especially if they were game sharing with people.
mhm.
Um, I
Well,
think
not
I
even just that. Even the titles that came preloaded on certain Xboxes, just because
yeah,
it was a digital copy, you were not allowed to, unless you had a physical disc to put in. You couldn't do anything.
yeah. So I just wanted to bring this up to the floor here and talk about, does Xbox have some DRM issues? Because I mean, at the end of the day, you purchase these games and you can't access them. That's a problem there.
Yeah,
To be fair though, this is kind of like an isolated case, right? Like it was only over this past weekend that it happened.
it
My but
happened a couple months ago for a shorter period of time. This weekend was a much larger event.
and also, Joel, if you are game sharing with someone, let's you and me, if we were game sharing, if my internet just went out, I would have access to the games you bought, but none of the games I bought. So, is there a
I
problem
mean,
there?
the problem lies that you're only supposed to be game sharing with people in your family and household, right?
For
Like
sure.
technically you shouldn't be game sharing with me because we don't live
Mm.
together, more or less. So that
Yeah.
wouldn't be as much of an issue if we were game sharing in the same household because, I could just be like, "Fuck you, John, give me your Xbox for the day." And you could say the same thing to me. So like that is kind of my thought process behind that. But then again, like DRM, this was Xbox's whole idea when they announced the Xbox One, right?
Hmm.
That you
Mhm.
could share your games with like I think it was up to 5 people or something is what they originally had planned on. Kind of being like a family type ecosystem. Um, and I mean, it could just be that maybe they were working on something in the back end and something else triggered something and it fucked it all up. Um, because as we do know, they are coming out with like a family subscription type thing for um, Game Pass Ultimate in the near future here, probably within the next, probably by winter. If I had to guess.
Mm.
So, I mean, maybe they were testing stuff out with that, and it just triggered something to fuck up DRM. How long did it go out for?
From what I saw, it was pretty much the entire weekend. Like I saw that it started on Friday and it wasn't really fixed until Sunday night.
I only
Yeah,
noticed it just the one day, but it was the entire night. Could not access any digital games at all.
I mean, I wasn't playing any games this weekend, so I didn't even notice it personally. So
My
it didn't
internet was
affect
down.
me.
I have
Yeah,
physical copies of most of my games, so it didn't really matter for me either. So,
yeah. No, I don't know. I a lot of Xbox's online policies and stuff. I'm a big fan of game sharing. I love it. Game Pass. We always talk about greatest deal in gaming, all that stuff. They do a lot of things that are great. Uh, it is a little disappointing though when you can't access the games that you bought. But Joel, I kind of side with you on that. That's really not something that you're supposed to be able to do over a long
mm,
distance and everything. Um, I also think without some of their DRM stuff, we would lose out on a lot of things like backwards compatibility with 360 and original Xbox games. If all that goes away, you're likely not able to access that content because the Series X and the Xbox One were not made to play those games. Um, so yeah, it's just one of those things. It's not a perfect system, but there is a lot of stuff that when it works right, it's great. When it doesn't, yeah, that's a little disappointing.
And to clarify what you're saying about the like backwards compatible stuff, the way it works, right, is that like if you put an original Xbox game in, it's basically booting up an emulator of a digital copy of the game, right? All the
Hmm.
disc is doing is acknowledging the fact that you own it.
yep,
Yep. Yep.
So
it is
yeah,
the key.
exactly. Without DRM, that's not possible.
Nope. Not at all. And
unless
really,
there's some
that's
sort of
really.
like unless there's some sort of hybrid thing that they could take to it, right? But
Hmm.
then again, it's like I don't want to stop game sharing. I game share with Loops. We buy like almost every game that comes out, and it's great. Like I get to try all these games that I probably would never try because it's not something I would pay $60 for myself.
Yeah. No, there's it. I understand why people would be upset, especially if you go to a job for 40 or more hours a week. You have the weekend off, and your plans are sit at home, relax in the air conditioning, play some games, but you can't access Halo Infinite for no reason outside of the servers are down. But that's just kind of a thing that's going to happen with online stuff going forward. A lot of these games rely on this kind of stuff to give us these experiences that we love so much nowadays. Destiny, Overwatch, all this stuff. We need that infrastructure there for it to work. Maybe it can be tweaked on some ends, and maybe some companies could be better with how they handle certain things. But I wouldn't say that this is necessarily a huge problem, but it does suck when it does happen.
Yeah. I think it's pretty funny though that didn't affect like any of us,
Yeah.
even though all three of us are like predominantly Xbox gamers.
Yeah.
That
Just
Well, yeah,
circumstance.
even when it was like really down for whatever reason, it wasn't affecting me. I think that's because I'm not game sharing with anyone at the moment.
I also think that it's kind of blown up to be a bigger deal than it actually is.
Mm,
Just because it was over the weekend, right? If this
yeah.
happened like from a
Mhm.
Tuesday to Wednesday, I don't think like I still think it's a big deal, right? I just don't think it's like as big of a deal as people are making it out to be.
Yeah. It wouldn't have even made the headlines at all. It would have made the forums, but not the headlines.
Yeah.
But in terms of like them having DRM issues, I think that it's still kind of like up in the air, right? Like if it keeps happening like once a month where you're losing 2 days of not being able to game, then yeah,
Mhm.
clearly they have an issue. But
Yeah.
I feel like Xbox has been very responsive with any issues they do have with any of their products to the where, they probably have a full team of like 10 people right now on it, like trying to figure out what happened, what caused the DRM issues, how they can prevent it from happening in the future. So I mean, I have a lot of confidence in Xbox on that front, a lot more than I do on like Sony when it comes to
Or
like PlayStation
Nintendo.
stuff or
Yeah.
especially Nintendo. Dude, if
Yeah.
yo, trying to explain what the cloud is to Nintendo is probably like trying to explain what the cloud is to my future father-in-law. Because I brought up the
Mhm.
cloud last weekend and he's like, I don't get it. And I was like, it's just the cloud. Like it's basically just a huge warehouse of servers where your data gets stored. He's like, I tell you
Doesn't
what,
make
if you
sense.
if he's like, I'll tell you what, if you kids didn't have that cloud, you wouldn't know what to do. I was like, you're probably right. Like, what am I gonna do? Go buy a fucking map? No thanks.
Right?
All right, Xbox, man, Xbox. Moving on. EA teased 4 new unannounced games coming in 2023. John, you want to run us through these?
Yeah, so this was during an earnings call. There's been quite a few of these coming out. For example, Nintendo had one of their best years ever this last year and all that. But EA was teasing that there are 4 brand new games. One is from a major IP, one is a partner title, one is a remake, and one is a sports title. These are all games that have not been announced yet. So, Skate 4, the Dead Space remake, all that stuff does not apply here. So, do we have any guesses for what games could potentially be coming within the next year? Um, I do want to also point out this won't include the college football game and the recent, not FIFA game, the soccer game that they renamed. I don't remember what they renamed it to. It's like
It's called EA Sports Soccer. No, what the fuck is it
soccer.
called? It has FC
Football.
at the end for football club, but I don't know what
E-
the hell they call it.
I don't.
It wouldn't make sense for them to
We're
call it soccer club, soccer football club.
Joel. We're talking about soccer here, so I really don't care to be spending this much time on it.
In terms of sports titles, is Skate 4 considered a sports title to them? Because I know we just saw like
Mm,
very early development gameplay, But
Yeah.
I feel like they could probably turn that around in the next 2 years. It seems like they have all the mechanics in the game already.
Have any
But
of the
they
previous skate games had the EA Sports thing
Okay,
pop
so
up?
Yeah.
yeah,
But they did also specify that these are unannounced games, so Skate 4 would
Mm.
not be
oh
in
yeah,
Okay.
I
here.
guess you're right. I
Yes.
guess you're right.
So yeah, any guesses? I mean, there's really on the on my wish on the sports title side is that we get something that you would have seen in the 2000s during like the GameCube and PS2 days. What was
EA
EA
Big,
Sports Big? Yeah, EA Sports Big. NFL Street,
but
NBA Street, something
I
like
don't think
that.
that was EA Sports. I think it was just EA Big.
Whatever. It was EA Sports Big, I want to say is what it was called.
Oh no, but no,
But
maybe it was EA Sports Big. You're right.
yeah, that would be my big hope for the sports title.
I
I love
agree.
those games so much, and I really think, as much as I love these like more simulation sports games, I love the show. I enjoy Madden sometimes. I really miss arcadey sports games, your NBA Jams, NFL Streets, all of them. So that's something I would really like to see.
I got a few I want to see. Some jokingly, some non-jokingly.
All right.
Actually, they're all jokingly.
Okay.
Number one, XFL football game. If you know what the XFL is, it's the league that The
That
Rock just bought. It would
that
be
would be
fucking weird.
if they had the NFL license and the XFL license.
I don't know if they would play together so nicely. Like, I don't
No,
think the
I don't think so
NFL would
either.
allow
Probably
them
not.
to include that in the game as well.
No,
And EA Sports Highlight 2023. Do you know what Highlight is?
no, I don't.
Neither of you know what that sport is. Please Google Highlight real quick.
How do you spell it?
I don't know.
All right, highlight.
It's spelled weird. Oh, JAI space ALAI. Just Google that. Just YouTube that, and just watch like 10 seconds. More or less what it is. You know when you were a kid, they had those like banana
Oh,
shaped
it's
things
the
with a ball.
tennis off the wall thing, right?
Yeah, but it's like with a huge fucking weird
Like those big
banana
scoop looking
racket.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like the
okay.
weirdest sport ever, and it was super popular in the 80s. That would be fucking hilarious if that's what they did.
All right.
Oh.
But yeah,
man.
in terms of sports, I don't know. Like, F1 has their own game. Maybe they're bringing back NASCAR because EA Sports used to have the NASCAR license. Do they
Yeah.
still make those? I don't even know. I don't think so.
I might be going way too far back, but the what were those backyard sports games? Were those EA?
Oh, I don't
That was a
think they
different
were.
company. That was
Oh, okay.
Humongous Entertainment. I already looked it up.
Yeah,
I was wondering.
backyard baseball was so good.
Yeah, bring back Pablo, man. Bring back Pablo.
Pablo and Pete.
But like, what sport is there that they don't have? Right? They have soccer, football, hockey, basketball. Oh, maybe
Hear me out.
basketball's coming back again.
Esports.
don't have a
NBA
basketball
Live.
game.
They could bring back NBA Live again.
Maybe college hoops. That's the only way they can get a shit ton of
that
sales.
I like that one. That is a very because they only announced college football. They did not announce college basketball.
Yeah,
Basketball
it
players
sucks.
are getting paid too in the future, right? That was like an all college sports thing.
That was
they made.
all college sports. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could
I like
see that.
Yeah.
But the only
What
downside is like NBA 2K is so fucking massive. You have to imagine that if the NCAA was going to license out a college basketball game, they would go straight to them, right? Because the last
Yep.
NBA Live fucking got thrown in a bonfire and somebody pissed on it to put it out.
But also knowing EA, they really like to have those licenses, so I could see them putting down a lot of money to
Oh, for
the
sure.
NCAA.
Because like college basketball is massive, right? Like almost as
Mhm.
big, if not bigger than the NBA at times. So if they had that license and came out with a game, even though it would be worse than NBA 2K, they would make so much money off of it.
All right. So, what remake would you guys like to see from EA?
Has the Dead Space remake actually been fully
Yes,
announced?
Yeah.
it's been announced, so this
it's
does not
not
count there.
that one. Okay.
I'll start off because I already have one because I talk about this a lot. Burnout 3, bring it back.
I never
Not
played
not
Burnout.
one or two, just three.
No, Burnout 3 is the best one. Burnout Revenge is also very good, but just Burnout 3 Takedown, that is one of the best racing games ever made.
Okay.
You know what, John? You want Burnout 3, but they're actually going to remake The Sims 1.
Ooh. But they'll call it Sims 5.
I mean, fine. Yeah.
But they'll call it The Sims 5, yeah.
What if that is the major IP they're talking about? Because it's been a long
Yeah.
time since a new Sims release. So
Mhm.
The Sims 5, I could actually very much see something like that. When did The Sims 4 come out? That was so long ago.
It had to
That's
have been like
I'm gonna
2014.
Google that.
I'm looking at
Yeah,
it now.
2014 nailed it.
2014, damn, I'm good.
Nice.
So a new Sims game I could definitely
Yeah.
see in there. We already know about a new Mass Effect coming.
What
else?
What if they're remastering a Dragon Age game to hold people off for the new one?
Which one? Maybe Inquisition?
I don't know any of them. I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah.
Like completely remaking Dragon Age?
I don't think that would be too well. I don't know. Oh, they could, I guess.
They're
but
remaking Battlefield because
Medal of
2042
Honor,
is still broken.
I'm looking
if-
through old
what if
EA IP, and Medal of
the
Honor is
Medal of Honor is never coming back?
they came out with a VR game.
That was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, like a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
It is not dead, John. It is alive and thriving.
All right.
Dozens of people out there.
If you say so. Let's what about Bad Company? That's a Battlefield series that everyone always wants to
I
make
feel
a
like
comeback.
if they were going to do another Bad Company, they would make the third one. They wouldn't just try to remake the first one.
I would consider that a major IP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, or I'm hoping that their major IP is going to be Jedi Fallen Order 2.
I would think, real quick, I think that would fall under the partner title.
Well, see, I've got a separate thing for partner title. I think partner title is going to be Titanfall 3. Because they're going to partner with Respawn.
No, they own Respawn. That's not a partner title.
It's not a partner. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Taking it
they
back.
own them. So that would actually be switched if they made a new Titanfall. That could be their major IP.
All right. I can see that. Yeah. My hope is if there is a crossover with the new Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which there's rumors that they're going to bring in Cal Kestis to that series. And if they do that, that's the perfect in for bringing a Fallen Order 2. Like, just keep riding that hype train.
Did they officially announce that, or was it just leaked that they're working on it?
No, I think they announced that. I think they announced that there will be a sequel.
Okay, but it hasn't been like officially revealed and announced. So I'm sure that Jedi Fallen Order 2 is probably one of these games.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's probably a partner title, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Another partner title could be a Lord of the Rings game. They just announced a mobile game that EA is making.
Yeah.
So
well, that's just mobile games. Doesn't WB own the rights to like most Lord of the Rings games because they own the film rights?
Yeah, true. I think so.
Yeah.
I say who all partnered to make Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War?
That's WB.
It was fully WB? Okay.
Yep.
It might be.
Isn't there a Gollum game coming out?
Yes.
It's been delayed a lot, I think.
Yeah, it's I can't remember the name, but the reason they get around it is because it's based on the books, not the movies. Daedalic Entertainment.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. But the movies are based on the books too.
But WB owns the rights to the movies specifically, not the books.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Major IP. Titanfall 3?
Yeah, we were saying Titanfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, Titanfall's the big one. I would be Sims 5 also makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
My daughter would love it, so I would be investing hundreds of dollars every year in those expansions. Yeah, those are the two big ones I could think of.
Hard to say.
Yeah, it's EA. Who they always have a lot of stuff that I'm like, okay, there's some really awesome stuff in here, but at the end of the day, this is EA, so they're gonna fuck something up here somehow.
Yeah.
All right,
But
let's move on to the quick news.
All
Former
right.
Respawn Entertainment developer says management rejected requests for the lead to be
Oh,
female or black.
that's in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 1.
Okay, I
Originally,
was gonna say,
sorry.
what is
Yeah,
this
that was my
about?
bad. Cal Kestis, originally, some of the developers wanted him to be either female or black, and the management said no. Um,
mm,
not trying to bring up that uh, the management is racist or anything. I just think that what if uh, that had gone through and
mhm.
everything? What if that was just a
Yeah,
completely
and
different
like,
character?
and
Because a
like
lot
a
of
lot
people
of the
like Cal Kestis.
Yeah.
no, yeah, I agree. I like him a lot too. I just think that it's like a lot of these articles are getting clickbaity in this sense. It's like, well, like
Yeah.
somebody had to make a decision somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It's not like, at the studio there was like everybody was like, yeah, let's make it, this black female, and then just one manager's like, no. Like
Right.
like that's probably not how it was at all. It was probably just like, all right,
No.
we need to make a decision based on like the fan base, based on, what's gonna sell, and that's the decision they made.
It could have
Yeah,
been down to casting too. Maybe the other people
they might
who
have
were
already
up for the
had the
role,
guy.
maybe they just didn't like the performance that some of the other people gave. Who knows?
Yeah.
Not to give them devil's advocate, but if that's something that isn't clickbaity and it is a big deal, it needs to be addressed. But
Yeah. Next up, the Nintendo Switch has finally dropped in price. It is now down to $260.
what? Nintendo dropped price?
5 years after its release, it has finally dropped in price. Not the OLED model, only the original
The base
model.
model, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Still, I mean, this is way past due. This should have happened
Yeah.
at least a year ago. But if you're still waiting on a Nintendo Switch, now's a good time to buy it. The Gotham Knights, a Gotham Knights demo has been revealed. The PS4 and Xbox One versions have been canceled. I haven't watched this demo yet because, as much as I love WB's work with the Arkham games recently, Gotham Knights is just not doing it for me.
I
Although it
think
is
it
the
looks
Court of Owl's story, which is really fucking good.
like I think it looks cool combat wise, but like when I was watching it before they said anything about being only next gen, I was like it was a little rough around the edges. Like if you look closely, it'd be like, there weren't shadows where there should have been shadows for somebody walking. Um, they were showing like NPCs, like NPC bad guys, like kind of like how they do their banter and stuff, like talking shit
Yeah,
about the good guys, and like one of them was walking and it looked like he was just like gliding across the screen. I was like, what is this?
yeah. The
When
game's
does this
not
come out?
October, I want to say.
Okay, I did see that they announced the like collector's edition, which is like a statue of all four of them. It looks really
Hmm.
fucking cool.
Yeah. No, I love that they're making a game that's focused on the Bat family and not Batman himself. Like, that's a really cool idea, and it's multiplayer and everything. I don't understand how this isn't a 4-player multiplayer game though. Like,
That is weird.
why is it only
Mm.
two? That doesn't make any sense at all to me.
I agree.
They're also trying to work
I
in
can't wait for PC players to mod it so that they can play
right.
4-player.
Um, and then they've got all the like side stuff with like the loot system and the RPG stuff that they're trying to work in as well. It's that's just not the kind of game I want from the series. If you're gonna have a cooperative multiplayer game like this, just give them all like their different abilities and everything, like something to make them stand out from the others. But I don't need a loot system in a game like this.
Yeah.
It's like the Marvel's Avengers thing. Like yeah, I'll probably enjoy some of the game, but this isn't needed here.
Mhm.
I mean, it's also like the way I'm thinking of it is like I want them to make more of like the Dark Knights, or not the Dark Knight. What's it called?
Arkham.
The Arkham Knight series. Like I played a bit of the first one. I love that, and like that's just like straight to the point. Like you unlock stuff, but you're not like, oh, I gotta go run through this building 50 times to try and get this one drop. Like that's not the
Mhm.
kind of game I want this to be. I want this to be
Yeah.
a very straightforward, superhero story with some cool action in it.
Absolutely, could not agree more. Next up, Apex Legends has generated over $2 billion since its release, so you might say that EA has a hit on their hands. Maybe
Yeah.
it'll be good someday.
That's what
no,
they're gonna remaster Apex. That's what they're gonna do.
Okay.
after they just
Also,
released the next gen version.
Apex had a great like launch, right? Because it was like a surprise
Yeah.
drop launch. Like
Yeah,
granted,
sure.
we got hints of it over the weekend before, of like leaks and stuff, but still really fucking cool.
hmm Yeah, no, Apex Legends is awesome, and there's a new season that just started yesterday. I want to say so. New character and everything. If you're interested. Last up, Avatar, Skull and Bones, and Mario and Rabbids. Sparks of Hope, I believe, is the subtitle on it. Is expected to release by March 2023. Again, an Ubisoft thing. So they're finally saying Skull and Bones is coming out soon. I'll believe it when I see it.
Damn, I don't know if that's gonna happen, John.
Nah. Like I said, I'll believe it when I see it.
2028.
Want to talk about collectibles?
Sure, what do you got?
Sure. Yeah.
I took a trip to Disc Replay, and I grabbed a couple of games that I think Joel might like. So first up, I got NBA Jam on the
Hell
SNES.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Then I also grabbed a little game called Pokemon Pinball.
Nice.
Ooh,
I have that too.
I remember that one.
That's
Yeah.
a great one.
I went in and I also grabbed Mario Kart DS, but I'll talk about that in what I've been playing. But yeah, I went in and there was actually quite a few things to buy. And one thing I want to talk about is, okay, inflation is insane right now, right? With pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Back when I worked at Disc Replay, Pokemon Soul Silver for the DS, it's always been a pretty expensive title. It was like $50 or $60 back then. I went in there the other day and it was like $120 to buy it.
Yeah, they
Damn.
Absolutely
skyrocketed.
insane. Yeah. Really makes me regret not buying it in the past. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's insane how much that went up in price. Regardless, though, this is a pretty good haul. I'm always looking for more retro games to find, and I'm excited. You guys got anything?
I don't have anything new to share. No, not on my end. Will's got a bunch of stuff behind him. Find something, Will.
Yeah. Find something?
Unprompted.
Oh gosh.
Unprompted. Find something.
I found my old PSP.
Nice.
PSP. I haven't seen one of those in a long while.
Mhm.
I used to love my PSP.
here.
I modded the shit out of it.
PSPs are awesome. They're a lot better than the Vita.
So this was one of the more recent deliveries I've had.
Hey.
I still want it. I still want it.
Let's say I don't remember which side.
You put your head in the bottom.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the
no,
side.
the things light up.
Oh, that's cool.
It
Is that
makes a bunch
the
of noise.
collector's edition thing that they had?
Mhm. It was one of the GameStop exclusives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the lights
I have
come on.
I
you
have
can have
this
like
helmet.
shield noises and stuff.
I have this helmet here that I got from Target around Halloween time.
Yes.
And Will has it too, but it's
That
just
would be
so
this one.
shitty. Comparatively, it's so shitty.
Very, very much. Let me see if I can back up and you can see them like side by side.
Your helmet is different than mine on the left.
This one?
Yeah.
Really? This was
Yeah,
the one
that
I got from Outpost Discovery.
Here, let me show you. Mine's like the Halo Infinite helmet.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I gotta juggle my babies.
Look at the front here.
Oh yeah, that is different. Very.
Here's mine.
Hey, that's the one I got here. Okay.
What? Is it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. No, that is right. I want to say this is Halo 5?
Halo 4 and 5 had
Halo
the
4.
same armor, yeah.
Yeah.
But then like the build quality on this is like, if you look at the visor here, you can see it's like coming, it's like not in there and it won't sit in there. Or if like I pull really hard, Like not
Yeah, it
even
separates just
really
a little
hard.
bit.
Yeah,
Um,
it's annoying. I
Look
really
at
want
us
that game
nerds
stop
with our
though, but
Halo
right.
helmets.
I got one more thing that I got recently. Actually, I think Joel, you've seen this before, but I don't think I've showed it on stream. Hold on.
he's just gonna get naked.
Yeah. Ns.
I got. Oop, fall over. Little chorizo from Far Cry 5
Oh, that's
or 6.
cool.
Far Cry 6, not 5. My gosh.
Yeah.
I saw this on my work's website and I couldn't pass it up because it looks exactly like my dog minus the wheels, obviously. But I could not pass this up at all. But that's I mean I got those I think a couple months back, but those are my most recent ones.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's about all I got to talk about with collectibles this week. I'm
Cool.
still waiting. I ordered a first four figures Spyro statue a long time ago, and I'm still waiting for that to come in.
I
Let's get into
have never played
what?
Spyro. Sorry.
Oh,
You
Spyro.
madman.
I've never owned a PlayStation. And
Cool.
that's always
It's
been a
on
PlayStation
Xbox.
exclusive. Is it now?
Get the Reignited trilogy on Xbox. It is
Okay.
so good. Yeah.
All right, moving on to what we've been playing. I'll start just because I have a lot about a little to talk about, I guess. Halo Infinite Season 2 dropped last week. And we kind of knew going into it that it was going to be very lackluster. Like, it wasn't going to be a huge game changer for the game.
Yeah.
And basically, the majority of what it is a new battle pass, new stuff to unlock, which is fine. Like, it gives me something to play for, a reason to play the game at all again. Whereas, like, I hadn't played the last, like, 4 months, more or less, because there was no reason for me to.
Yeah.
So there's that. They also have new maps. Will, how many new maps are there?
2.
2 new maps. One's a big team battle map. One's a team arena map, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the big team
And
battle one is Breaker. Gives off a lot of burial mounds vibes from like Halo 2. And
yeah,
then the arena map is called Catalyst. Very vertical Forerunner design map.
you see that one I have not played yet, so I'll be curious to try that out. But yeah, the big team battle map, that is the map that is used in a new game mode they came out with called Last Spartan Standing, which is basically their take on Lone Wolves, right? For Halo Infinite, more or less. It's kind of a battle royale where it's, like it says, Last Spartan Standing. So you get kills, and with those kills, you get points 100 points for a kill, 50 points for an assist. And each level has a different point structure you have to get to advance to the
Kind of like
next
gun
one.
game mixed with elimination, mixed with battle royale elements with a shrinking player space after a certain period of time. Yeah.
Yeah. And the nice thing is you don't have to level up right away. So, like, for instance, for me, I do really good with the assault rifle. So the game I won last night, I just stopped advancing after the assault rifle because, like, I know that's my strength, right? And it's also nice that it doesn't make you switch right away, because that way you don't kill somebody and then it makes you switch and you die as your guys animating to switch out weapons. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, that game mode, it's pretty good, I think. I don't really like playing solo a whole lot, so it's kind of unfortunate that like all of my bounties are more or less revolved around that game mode. Because like when I play that, like I don't want to play anything else because I want to keep advancing the battle pass and advance the what is it? What are they called?
The new event that they've got right now. It's basically the equivalent well, not the equivalent of, but very similar like to the Tenrai event where they have like a secondary free battle pass for everybody.
That's right. They call them fracture events. So it's the new fracture event.
One of
yeah,
I think
Spartan
3
Standing
different
cool.
ones we're getting this season.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that after playing Last Spartan Standing, they really need to just dive in and hopefully certain affinities helping them make a battle royale, like a full-fledged one. I think that would
Nothing's
be
been
so much
announced,
fun.
but it's heavily implied that it will be.
Yeah, because like The only issue I see with that though is I could see them trying to make their own map for it as opposed to just like taking a part of the
Like
campaign map.
copying and pasting. Yeah.
Because I think the campaign map lays itself perfectly for a battle royale if they just, you know, obviously you can't use the whole thing. The map's fucking
Yeah.
massive, right?
Mhm.
But maybe who knows? Maybe they could. I think that'd be cool if they could. But
There have been a
regardless,
few unconfirmed leaks about the how it would play out. It's supposed to be similar to a battle royale, but teams of four,
yeah, that's
25
how
teams of
some
four,
are.
100 player, and it's going to be PvPvE. So there will be like covenant or banished forces around the area, and you can capture FOBs, um, similar to some of the campaign gameplay, but it is going to function very. I have a feeling it's going to be a mixture of a battle royale with Halo 5's Warzone. Personally,
I don't think they're gonna bring Halo 5's Warzone back in
or
any way.
a similar type of thing, something along
I
this. Hard to say.
don't
It's all
see
speculation.
it. But yeah, basically what you just described is Fortnite because Fortnite
Yeah.
has AI characters around the map now
Yeah.
that you can kill. They can kill you. Um, so yeah, like it makes sense. Like we're living in a day and age where like every battle royale game that has like a new season drop or something, like we see them all coming this week, right?
Mhm.
Warzone has a new season, everybody's playing that. Apex has a new season, everybody's playing that. Like it's a big deal, and it's because everybody loves those battle royale type games.
Yeah.
And I think the Halo franchise already like lays itself perfectly. They have all the weapons, they have all the vehicles you can need, and obviously like a four like they got to start somewhere. So 4-player team is fine, right? Like I like playing
Mhm.
with friends, that's cool. But that doesn't mean they can't in the future implement like a 3-player team mode or a
Yeah.
2-player team mode because like that's what all these other games have done in the past too. Like I think when Warzone started it was either singles, duos or quads.
I
And I
think
think
so.
most
Yeah.
recently they added a trio in
Hmm.
along with other variants of the game mode where it would be like just on a small island, which was pretty cool. I was into that mode a lot. Um, but yeah, other new season 2 stuff. They added their King of the Hill variant. What's it called, Will?
That's King of the Hill.
Just King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the
It
other new
plays
game mode?
different. Well, we've got Last Spartan Standing and King of the Hill. Then they added in a couple different changes to like existing playlists. So the free for all playlist is no longer, and it's called Rumble Pit again. And there's a bunch of odd game variants in there, like Ninja Slayer, where you're flying around the map with grapple hooks and swords, and that's it. It's just a free for all Slayer game of that. There's a new variant of Oddball. I think it's called Vampire Ball or something. I haven't played that one yet. They added in a good amount of stuff. People are just wanting more social playlists, so they want to be able to go into some of these newer free for all games with a group of friends. But right now, it's only solo queues, and that's it. So
Yeah,
they'll
that's a
get there.
problem.
They'll get there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is the
but
problem. Is the
when?
solo queue.
Yeah. The when is the big question there. They
Yeah.
will
Yeah, who
get
knows
there.
how to
MCC took how many years before they got
Yeah.
decent?
for real.
I
That's a fair
I
point.
just I'm so blown away how a lot of this stuff just wasn't readily planned for. Like I've been in the past, I've defended a lot of 343 Industries decisions on Halo Infinite before launch and everything. Um, but pretty much all you hear since launch is, "Oh, thanks, we're learning." Like, guys,
Yeah,
these
you
live
knew
service
this.
games have been out
Mhm.
for years before Halo Infinite release. This is a lot of stuff that you should just already know is not okay. It is not
Mhm.
okay for your live service game to go 5 months with barely any content.
And not only
That's
that, nothing new. The only thing new to this game is Last Spartan Standing. Everything else
yeah,
that they're patching in is either cosmetics or game modes that existed 20 years ago.
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks.
That's the thing I don't get is like you are literally holding like game modes as like content for future seasons.
Well, not only that, but
Like that's
they also
insane.
removed game modes. There was that one attrition mode back during the holidays that was around for the Cyber Showdown event where everything was all like cyberpunky looking, and
Well, that's the same thing
neons.
with Last Spartan Standing. Once this
Mhm.
is all over, that's leaving as well.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's only in event mode.
Yeah. So it's like how Fiesta. Remember
Missed
Fiesta?
opportunity.
Fiesta was originally tied to the
Mhm.
Fracture event. I forget
Yeah.
which one. I think it was the
I
Tenrai one, and
Mhm.
it kept
And
going
then
away. And then
people
eventually people
complained.
complained. Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's
don't.
just insane.
At
It's
this
like
point, the game does not
that's
need.
for a game that's lacking content. Like,
Mhm.
why take content away? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? You're
Mhm.
giving people more fuel in the fire of like, fuck you guys. This is insane.
Yeah.
They're leaning heavily into FOMO. Like,
Yeah.
play it now because it'll be gone later.
And also buy our Clippy stuff.
Oh, don't
Hey,
even get
I
me
bought it.
started.
I bought it
No, why? Don't give them
because
money for
I had the
that.
credits. I had the credits, and it's fucking Clippy. It's hilarious.
Oh
They
my
do have a
gosh.
bundle. Like, I think their main bundle up right now actually looks pretty sick. I thought about picking it up.
Oh, the new full armor set that they released.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. It does look pretty cool. Very Star Warsy.
yeah. But I'm an idiot, so I'm gonna keep playing it. So
I've given them enough of my money. I will give them more money when the game is complete. I have not purchased the battle pass for season 2. I'll play through it. I'll get all the free stuff. I'm not giving them any more money.
I bought the battle pass, but I didn't buy the premium one this time. I'm
Mm.
just gonna go at my own pace.
Yeah, I mean, you got
I-
6
I-
months. So.
6 months, yeah, right.
I've been saying it.
Ridiculous.
I've been saying it since even before the game came out. Is what in the fuck game were we gonna get in 2020?
Right.
What did that game look like before they delayed it? Because
Yep.
if this is what we're saying now, and we're like
Mhm.
6 months post launch,
Mhm.
well, even longer if you can. 6 months?
Yeah, 6
When did the
months.
multiplayer launch? Either way.
November, mid-November,
Okay.
November 15th.
So it's
Yeah.
been 6 months for
Yeah.
the multiplayer.
Okay, so if this is where we're at 6 months post launch, where were we at 2 years ago? Right?
Mm-mm.
Roughly when the game 2.5 years ago when the game no,
I
almost 2
don't
years
think
ago.
they
Year and a
had a
half.
full multiplayer even developed in 2020.
I think I
I
agree
don't
with
think.
that.
Yeah.
And I
don't
think
know.
what shows that is the lack of game modes. The fact that like they had to add Fiesta to the game at one point. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like when the game launched, what did it have? It had Team Slayer, Team Arena, well, I guess
They
in
had
terms of
ranked,
game
Team
modes.
Slayer. Big Team Battle was not there at launch. It was like 2 weeks in. I think they patched that in.
I completely forgot about that.
Bot
That's
Slayer.
so fucking
They had Bot
stupid.
Slayer.
Is Bot Slayer still there?
Mhm.
Yeah, I want them to turn it around, but really all they've been saying is, yeah, we just got to get to the end of season 2 and then we'll start speeding up with all the content we are
Yeah.
releasing. And
I
that's not acceptable because at that point you're going to be a year
Mhm.
into this game's life and we are just not seeing enough right now.
Yeah. I don't want to
I
just assume what's going on behind the scenes either, because I'm sure development went through hell during the early parts of the pandemic. And I know, well, they were talking about a lot of like contract developers that they kept hiring in for short-term periods. And I'm sure they had to spend time to train them. Like, I don't agree with these decisions, but these decisions happen. And they added to that problem. And after they brought Joe Staten in to try to fix it up, they've been having a bunch of like hiring, like they're going through and hiring a lot of people, which is good to see, but they've got to get those people in role, train them how to use this engine that they built that's just severely broken, and then they can start pumping out content. So
I
I'm
mean,
sure they've gone through
personally,
hell and they
I
can
don't
tell us as much as they want, but
I don't think they have an excuse in terms
yeah.
of the pandemic causing delays because the game was
I'm
being
blaming
worked on
the higher ups
for
for
4
that.
years. It was being worked on for 4
I
years before the pandemic started.
there have been talks about the game actually started development mid 2018. Like they've been only working on the engine up to that point. So
Yeah, creating the engine took a very long time.
yeah. So there were leaked photos. I'd have to look them up about early Halo's campaign, and they were dated in 2018, and it just looked like an N64 game at that time. It was just early concept, more or less. Like, hey, how are we moving around the map?
Do you think there's ever a future in which 343 says, "All right, we fucked up. We should not have made this engine. We're going to use this other engine now"?
Well,
No.
they didn't say we fucked up. They will never admit that. But they were for a while there. I think there were 6 months of their development cycle during the early parts of the development cycle where they were debating on switching to Unreal because it just wasn't working. And realistically, looking hindsight, they should have switched to Unreal.
Yeah.
It's easier to work with, from what I've been seeing.
Yeah, well, it's just everyone knows how to use it.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the engine is that bad of a problem.
I think
Maybe
early
not
on it was a
now.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
It's just training people how to use it.
Yeah, growing pains
Also,
and all that.
Joseph Staten was on the Kind of Funny Xcast last week, and he tiptoed very much around the question of whether bringing back old maps is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's
I don't want him
inevitable.
He definitely said there's things I can say and there are things that I can't say, which is really kind of the idea has been tossed around. We may be working on some old map. He did give what were the three maps
Coag.
that he
I think
the
he said
pit,
Coag.
um,
Zanzibar. No, not Zanzibar. Lookout. What was it originally called?
lockout.
Lockout. Why did I call it Lookout?
Yeah, I mean you were close. But he gave like 3 examples of maps that are fan favorites when asked that question. So we may be getting some remake maps at some point in the near future, but I'm sure the higher ups at either the higher ups at 343 or Microsoft are saying you can only release this info at certain times of year to allow for hype to build up. I'm like, just if you've got something, say something, please. Just give us some kind of something to look forward to, other than, hey, we're getting a Forge beta at the end of season 2 in November.
Yeah, every Halo game has those remake maps.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them anymore. I just want new stuff in Halo Infinite personally.
I would take anything at this point.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is I'll take anything, and I have to imagine it's much easier for a dev to recreate something that's already been made. You know, even if it is them using completely new, Forge, whatever Forge materials are, to recreate it. It's probably much easier to do that than it is for them to come up with something completely original.
Yeah.
But yeah, Forge, end of season 2. Can't wait to be playing somebody's Nuketown map that they
beta
made.
at that.
A beta.
Oh man, at least it's coming. I'm trying to keep my head up, but
this whole game so far has felt like a beta, more or less.
Yeah.
Outside of like a fully functioning campaign.
Yeah.
All the multiplayer stuff seems like a beta, especially the fact that they keep saying like, "Oh, we're learning." Motherfuckers,
Yeah.
you've learned all of this already.
A lot of this
I
stuff
do
you should
have
already
high
known.
hopes for certain affinities mode whenever they decide to announce anything about it.
Yeah.
I can't wait until like 6 months go by and they're like, this is what certain affinity's been working on, and it's just like 3 remade maps.
Oh, stab in the heart.
All right, enough Halo talk. John, what have you been playing?
So I've been playing a little bit of everything. While my internet was out, though, I was playing Mario Kart DS. Really, I've been on a bit of a DS kick again lately. My Switch.
Which DS do you have? The 3DS?
Yeah, the 3DS.
Which one? Is it an XL?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've shown this multiple times. 1 second.
Also, John, what is that box behind you? It's a very mysteriously shaped box.
That's where I keep the child's body. Yeah, it's a Majora's Mask.
Oh, the Majora's
nice.
Mask. That's a rare one. You could probably sell that for a lot of money.
No, I want to keep it. Yeah, So I've been playing Mario Kart DS, not Mario Kart 7, which was released on 3DS. This has really been a blast from the past for me because this is back before uh, you could do tricks with your car when going off ramps and stuff. But yeah, looking at all these courses, I'm like, man, this game had a lot of good courses. It was really fun. I think I'll just keep playing it on the side here until what's the next big Nintendo release? Mario Strikers, I want to say in June. So that's probably what
No,
I'll be
John,
playing.
you said big release.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, Splatoon 3.
Yeah, Splatoon 3 in September. Um, but yeah, I was playing a little bit of Nintendo Switch Sports. We did put up a Let's Play about a week ago with us playing that, and it's good. I don't love it, I would say, but I enjoy it. It's fun to play on the side, but my Switch, I don't want to have it in my dock ever. I always love playing handheld, so that's just a big thing for me, I guess.
I'm the exact opposite. I wish they would come out with a version of the Switch that was just a home console. I would buy that. I would.
But you already have a Switch, and you can literally play it just how you're describing it.
I know.
By literally just leaving it
the
there.
the whole portability thing does not appeal to me. That's
I
it.
think I Will, you're a child, man. I think it's really cool. Like the only argument I think you could have for it is like, oh, if they came out with one that was only docked and it was like $80 cheaper, then I would have got it. But if it was the same price either way, like obviously you're gonna want the one that you can take on the go.
Oh
if you
yeah,
want to.
yeah. If it were a cheaper alternative, I would buy it. But yes.
But yeah, besides that, I played a little more Jack and Daxter on my PlayStation 5, the first game, and that PS2 game could really use a remake. Don't remake Last of Us 1, remake Jack and Daxter because it's aged. It's not terrible by any means, but it doesn't quite feel as fluid as I think we remember it feeling, and also like the camera controls are inverted. It is like that thing where you go to turn the camera left and it goes right, and I'm like, no,
Oh,
no, this
I
doesn't
hate
feel.
that.
It doesn't feel right at all.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's still a good game, and I enjoy playing it. But it could definitely use a remake.
Yeah, I really haven't played anything else. I played some Horizon last night, Forbidden West, when I was talking to John on PlayStation. Um, but I didn't. I just did like one main story mission. It was a long mission. John, I was playing that mission till like 11:30. It was
Yeah.
so long. I
What
did
was
not
it?
think it was gonna be that long. I'm early on in the game, so like this is very minor spoilers, I guess. By early on, I think I'm probably like just under a third of the way through it, if I had to guess, but I'm not really sure. I found Hades, right? And
Hmm.
Silence had me go into the place.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That is a longer one. That one
How far
sets
how
up a
far
lot
into
of
the
stuff.
game am I? How far? I'm just curious because like I
Maybe a quarter.
okay, because that's what I thought. Because like I stopped playing for so long, I have no concept of like how long I actually have played the game.
Yeah. No, you've got quite a while to go still.
I mean, I assume that. I just wanted to kind of gauge where I was.
Yep.
But I mean, that game's beautiful. It just I wish I had not just binge played Horizon Zero Dawn right before playing this, and I know I say this every time I bring it up because it just feels like the same game with new stuff in it.
It's
And that
Horizon
kind of
1.5. It's not a like it's not that thing where I talk about quite a bit where it's not a sequel that expands a lot on what the previous game did. It's a lot of the same stuff. There are some expansions there. You've got the grapple hook.
the skill
Once you get
tree.
towards the end of the game, you can fly. But besides that, it is the same Horizon experience, which is still a great game, a very good game, one of the best Assassin's Creed games ever. But it's just the same thing again for the most part.
Now, when we're talking about sequels, would you say that The Last of Us Part 2 expanded more on The Last of Us Part 1?
Gameplay wise, yeah.
I'm just, this is an honest question. I don't remember what the
Yeah,
difference
no,
between the two were.
they worked in they took what was there and they expanded on it. They added new weapons, they added new features and everything. That was a big step for them. Because the first Last of Us, as much as you love the story and everything, that gameplay isn't as great when you go back and play it now. Maybe
God,
that's
I
why they
fucking
want to
love
do a
those
remake.
games so much. I want to replay it now.
They're great. For me, it's the opposite way around. Where Last of Us Part Two, I love the gameplay more than I love the story.
Yeah, and I think when you think of Horizon Forbidden West, it's more of a sequel in terms of the story than it is of the gameplay. So
Yes,
that's why it's kind of lacking for me. Just because I
it's a
did just
game
play through
that
the whole
feels like
first
an
game.
expansion.
In terms of gameplay, yes, it feels
Yeah.
like an expansion. But the story is like pretty huge and in depth from what I hear. So
It's just more of the first one. I mean that's really all we can say about it. It's yeah. Well,
But I
you been
did
playing
hit.
anything besides Halo? Sorry,
Yeah.
Joel.
No, you're good.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say really quick. I did hit in that mission like a story beat to where I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, there's just like other people here. Who are these people?
Yep.
And that's all I'll say, so I don't spoil anything. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Will. What else have you been playing?
No, you're good. I'm just going through games that I'm sure everybody else has already beaten that's played them. I'm still trying to get through Far Cry 6. I just kind of pick it up every now and then. I kind of shelved Dying Light 2 just for a little while. Kind of got a little burnout with how lackluster the story is, unfortunately. I honestly don't even know how far I'm in that game, and I could care less, to be honest.
Hold on. Tell us what part of the game you're at. Full spoilers if you're watching and never played Dying Light 2.
So,
What's the last
we
story part you remember?
Guess this was like a month ago, the last time I played it,
Oh.
and I'm struggling to remember the major story event. I know I've been going back and forth between like the people in the village and the military, going back and forth with them, trying to find the murderer of somebody. I honestly don't even remember who. And now
Okay.
I'm storming
That's good to know.
a.
You're a little over halfway in.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yep.
But I put that on the shelf. Um, I've got two stories of games that are currently being played in the house. So Hannah, for the longest time, ever since Bug Snacks came out for the PlayStation,
Oh yeah, I remember she told
kept
me she wants to
wanting
play
me
it.
to get a PlayStation so she could play Bug Snacks. I'm like, hold on. There's a rumor that it's going to come out for Xbox, and it came to Game Pass. So for like the past week and a half, that has been the only game she has been playing. And it honestly, it looks like it's a ton of fun. I haven't started it yet. I downloaded it onto my Xbox, but with how crazy work has been and season 2 of Halo, I haven't really been doing a whole lot. Although there was one other game I was playing over the weekend, or the previous weekend, and Joel, you had messaged me as we were playing it, and I'm gonna pull up the exact message you sent me. So I had a bunch of friends over. I had recently gotten a promotion at work, so we were celebrating. We had gotten a big Goodfellas pizza, and we were having some drinks, and we were playing Rock Band 4. And I had a long time ago downloaded a whole bunch of just goofy party songs that we were playing. We were just going down the list of them. And let me see here. Let me find my chat. We were just finishing up a song, and I had completely forgot that everybody can totally see the songs that you're playing when you're online.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a message from Joel saying, "So jealous you're playing that. Enjoy Call Me Maybe." And everybody died when we opened that message. But
yeah, it's cool that it like tells your friends exactly what song you're playing, but also
right?
like can be embarrassing.
Yeah. Honestly, it wasn't embarrassing. We got a huge kick out of that because I completely forgot that it shows you what song you're playing, and I think it shows what difficulty you're playing on too, if I remember correct. I don't know. I never see any of my friends playing Rock Band. It's one of those niche things that we have.
I have it, but
We crank up the
just never
stereo
played it.
system and we just rock out.
Where were you playing it on in your theater?
Upstairs, we had finally,
okay.
aside from
Oh, that's right.
finishing up the
You
trim
moved your
work,
stuff.
we have the living room complete. So
Nice.
I've got the full speaker system in there. We tested it out after we got the couch in there, got the TV up. The in-ceiling speakers that we put in back in November, they do work, thankfully. Have not had the ability to test it because all the wires were in the wall.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anything else
that's
you guys
all
been
I've really
playing?
been playing lately.
All right. Well, I think that does it for episode 188 of the Pixel Street podcast. As always, follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street, where you can check out our pinned tweet to join our Discord. Me and John were playing Nintendo Switch Sports last week, so if you've been playing that, hit us up. We're always down to play. Um, Subscribe to us on YouTube at Pixel Street Videos. We're at 292 subs. So if we could get 300 by John, set a date. If we don't hit 300 by this date, then we delete the whole channel and the podcast is over forever.
May 12th.
It's tomorrow.
May
Yep.
12th. So if you are listening to this
I had to think
podcast,
there for a second.
if you are listening to this podcast on a podcast platform of your choice, then goodbye.
All right. Good luck. It's fun.
But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Campo63, twitch.tv/Campo63 when I feel like streaming. I have not streamed in a while. It's been a long time. John, where are you at on them there internet?
On Twitter,
That's-
I am at Brevik Shadows. You can also find my writing on doublexp.com. Doing a lot of updates on some older guides I wrote in the past. So hoping to play some Evil Dead this week. Maybe we need to do a Let's Play on Evil Dead,
Yes.
Joel. So
yeah.
look forward to that on the YouTube channel.
Will, you picking up Evil Dead?
I am fully planning on getting it. Yes.
All right, hit me up. I'll hook you up. Will, where are you at on the internets?
I am on Twitch. I haven't been on there in a while. Life's been kind of crazy, but I have every intention to speed up the content especially with VR. Haven't done that in a while. But I'm at twitch.tv/thepianoman23.
Cool. We will be right back here next week with episode 189 of the Pixel Street podcast.
Bye.